Hey everybody, it's February, and you know what that means. It's time for the January Builders Report for Fairfield County, Connecticut. As a reminder, we do look at all new construction builds in Fairfield County aside from those in Greenwich, Connecticut. And everything you see is a 12-month sum. So, what do we have? We have really good data, really good news this month. I'm very excited to share it with all of you, okay? So, with that, then, let's just jump right in. Here we go. This is where the good news starts. What you are looking at here are 12-month sums. So this is our latest bar. This is for the end of January, 12 months ending January 31st, 2026. We sold 227 new homes in those 12 months. We brought to market 238 new homes in that time. That's a really good spread, right? Only 11 home difference. And we used 342 listings to generate those 227 sales. So that's also very, very good. Back here, you can see that we had a lot more spread between both of those. This is really scary when you're building 264 new homes in 12 months and we're not even selling 200 of them, right? That's an unhealthy situation to be in. So I'm super excited to see. I think this is a very, very good spread here. All right, with that in mind, then let's jump into what is it that we are actually building. And the answer is we're building about 35% right in our bread and butter, those 4-bedroom homes. That gold bar you can see doesn't really shrink or grow all that much. We know this is the main part of our market, and boy, do we build it. We're still building a lot more 3-bedrooms than we're selling, and we're actually not building as many 2-bedrooms as we're selling. We'll get to that in a minute. And then up here, everything has been fairly stable, although I'm still surprised. It's almost one a month now that we're bringing to market these 7 or larger bed homes. That's not the way it used to be back here, right? We'd be, maybe 5 or 6 a month. It's been growing and kind of steadily holding its pace. So this is what we've been building and bringing to market. Here is what we've been selling. And this is, again, really, really good news. Love to see 2-bedrooms doing as well as they are. 15% of our sales over the past 12 months have been 2-bedrooms, predominantly 55 and older communities. The 3-bedrooms are struggling to sell, and again, we'll jump into that in a second, but I want to also point out while we're here that the 4-bedrooms have seen a big jump. We're only producing 35% of our inventory is 4-bedroom, 38% of our sales are 4-bedrooms. So we might start to see some pent-up demand in the 4-bedroom colonials. Bear that in mind as you choose your builds moving forward. Now, why are 2-bedrooms outperforming 3-bedrooms? Well, the answer to that, of course, as we've talked about before, they're the same size. About 21 to 2,200 square feet are the average size of our 2 and 3 bedrooms. So they're basically identical in size, but we charge on average 372 a square foot for the 2 bedrooms and 402 a square foot for the 3s. So adding the closet into the office of the 2-bedroom suddenly makes the home so much more expensive. It's not a huge surprise that people are choosing to buy the 2 bedrooms instead of the 3 bedrooms. They're effectively the same product. Speaking of price per square foot, 4-bedroom homes, our bread and butter, is sitting right around $452. Again, with this pent-up demand that we might start to see if this keeps climbing, I think we may see the price per square foot push back up near $480 like it was a couple of months ago. Everything else is actually staying pretty, steady for price per square foot. On size, however, it's interesting to note that we saw a little bit of a bubble of larger 6-bedroom homes, and even the 5-bedrooms over the last year. So if I jump back 1 year, 4,500 square feet on average for a 5-bedroom, we're all the way down to about 4,000, right? So there's been a pretty substantial reduction in the size of 5-bedroom homes over the last 12 months. So jumping back here, again, super happy about this good news. The one bar chart that I do want to jump into and discuss, because this is my one sort of red flag that will continue to be a red flag for a while. This over ask, and under ask. These are what SMLS reports. That's based on your final asking price. So did the offer you accept, was it above the final price you were asking, not the original? When I chart that out, This is how many homes needed to reduce their price from their original ask, right? So here's our 227 homes that we've sold. Out of those, 222 of them had to be sold at a reduced price from the original ask. This is really important. If you're a builder, you need to have a good idea of what it is that you're going to be able to sell a home for so that you select the correct materials and you don't run over budget based on that target. Well, a couple years ago, we weren't having a lot of difficulty. Over 200 of the homes that we were bringing to market were selling for at least ask, if not more. So you were getting what you were putting in and your return was full. Now your return on investment isn't quite what you're expecting almost every time. And we've got to fix that out. We've got to find some way of sharpening our pencils, getting back to the drawing board, and finding ways of making these homes more affordable so that what you plan on getting out of it is in fact what you get out. It's really hard to run a business when you're throwing expenses into a home that aren't going to pay back out, right? So if you have any questions on that, feel free to reach out to me. I'm always happy to talk. I'm always happy to grab a coffee. And if there's any data that you'd like to see in this that you don't see right now, again, feel free to reach out any way you're comfortable doing so. I would always love to have ideas on ways I can make this report better. All right? Talk to you soon.